the best new quarterback receiver connections for 2025 go?
I think the first one I'm going to go with here is Dak Prescott and George Pickens. I am. I'm going to go with that right there. Dak Prescott, he certainly throws the ball down the field. That's one of the better strengths he has in his football game. Pickens, we know, is going to be in some favorable matchups because of CeeDee Lamb being on the other side. I look at that to, pay great dividends for that Dallas Cowboy offense.
Well, and I remember the day that the George Pickens trade broke, and the Cowboys wisely leaked it just before all the morning shows got started. We tracked down Jason Garrett. We had him on the show, and he said Dak Prescott is the key to making the George Pickens trade work. And Pickens has never had a good quarterback. That's what makes this one so fascinating. A Steelers player who was washed out there, and they rarely go elsewhere and do well. This is one who could. I'll go, saw him at a basketball game, sitting courtside, JJ and JJ. JJ McCarthy and Justin Jefferson, the connection that we didn't really get a chance to see last year because McCarthy played in one preseason game. So much of what the Vikings do this year is going to ride on it. And Jefferson's attitude is, and it's kind of a quiet, like, hey, I'm good enough to play with any quarterback. You just put a guy back there and have him throw the football my way, and I'll take care of it from there. He doesn't say it that bluntly, but that's the attitude because he is that good. It's a hell of a lot easier to be a good quarterback when you have a guy like that who gets open and catches everything. And so JJ and JJ should be special this year.
Yeah, there's definitely that potential. We've talked about it a lot. JJ McCarthy, his offense, his skill set, he fits within this offense, I should say. You see right there, I mean, the dude can throw the ball. I mean, that in itself just doesn't leave the 5.5 foot range off the ground. It's a perfect spiral. It's effortless power there. And Justin Jefferson, as you know, being the number one Vikings fan in the world, is Mr. 20-yard route all the time. And you got a guy that's going to be able to, spin it in there, no matter how tight the window is or whatever. That's what I'm excited for there. So I like you. I like where your head's there. You homer, you. My next one, I know it's not official yet, but screw you. You do unofficial things on these drafts all the time. I'm going Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf, okay? That's where I'm going here. I don't care that he's not on the team. He will be on the team. He's going to the team. He didn't practice with DK Metcalf because he plans on sitting back in California and then drinking pina coladas all summer. He's going to be there. And I don't know why it's taken so long, and they've calmed us down with all this talk that he might be here at OTAs and minicamp and all that. No, I think it's all been a thing just to keep everybody off their back, and they know that he wasn't coming to training camp, and that's when we're going to see him. But nonetheless, Aaron Rodgers can still throw that damn ball. And at the end of the year last year, Aaron Rodgers is one of my more pleasant surprises in my quarterback rankings because I feel like Aaron Rodgers made a concerted effort to finally realize, wait, I can't move anymore. I can't run. I got to hang in the pocket here. Yep, it's getting a little closed in, but I'm going to wait for Devontae Adams or some people downfield to get open. And he pushed the ball down the field. And thank God he did, and that was a pleasant surprise, and hopefully he does that in Pittsburgh with DK Metcalf.
If it's going to happen before the mandatory minicamp, it's going to happen in the next few days. If he doesn't sign in the next few days, we're not going to see him until before training camp.
That's what I'm expecting.
That plays out.
Right.
I'm sticking with a team we've already talked about today.
Ooh.
Because Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson are getting back together again after their days at Ohio State.
Right.
And not long after Justin Fields signed with the Jets, there were the quotes popping up about how excited Garrett Wilson is. And we know Garrett Wilson was not excited about the last quarterback with the New York Jets, to the point where an NFL Media Sunday Splash report late in the season suggested that if Aaron Rodgers was back, Garrett Wilson might ask to be traded. So even though there were some guys that really liked Aaron Rodgers, at least one fairly important player on the team had had enough of the delicate genius. Garrett Wilson, very happy that he's reunited with Justin Fields. And we know that we think of Fields as a runner, but if he's ever going to develop as a passer, why not have him with a guy he knows well, a guy he's comfortable with, and a great receiver where you just have to throw it close and he'll take over.
Yeah, those are two guys that could help each other there just because there is the comfort of knowing each other and believing each other. And we've done this, and we did this in big college games against the best competition and all that. So there's no pressure from either one. Like, Justin Fields isn't going to be like, oh, does Garrett Wilson like me? I don't know. I want to give him the ball. I want to force him the ball. Does he like me? And Garrett Wilson's not going to be like, oh, man, Justin Fields, he's too, critical of, I didn't, put my foot exactly at the right angle like Aaron Rodgers wanted and all that stuff. So there's just going to be a more pleasant, I think, atmosphere between the two, and that's where you could see both of them thriving in that environment. My last one, Stafford and Devontae Adams. Matthew Stafford is still one of the best quarterbacks in football. Unbelievable decision maker, unbelievable arm, great system to go along with it. They got Puka Nacua. We know he'll still be the main guy there. But Devontae Adams is going to certainly rack up some big numbers and catches. And he's a perfect systematical fit to what they want to do out there in L.A. It's a lot like they had Cooper Kupp back in the day. It's going to be that guy. But they are going to have a big portion of their playbook that is going to be, hey, here's Devontae Adams' special plays, and we're going to know how to get him open no matter what. I expect a ton of receptions and some big plays to go with it too, Mike.
I'm going to go off the board here just for fun because we've already talked about Cam Ward and Calvin Ridley, so that would be an obvious pick. I'm intrigued by Jack Betch and Geno Smith because the cupboard is dry and bare in Las Vegas at the receiver position, and I just have a feeling Betch could turn into something special. He's got that motivation from his brother who was killed in the New Orleans terror attack on New Year's Day. But, I saw some quotes recently about Christian Kirk being very excited about the Texans' offense, and I know we're concerned about the C.J. Stroud shoulder, but they really need somebody who can step up and take the heat off of Nico Collins.
Yeah.
And Kirk, Kirk is no slouch. It's easy to go to Jacksonville and be forgotten. But he was a guy in 2022 who got a contract that we were like, holy crap, they're paying him that much.
Right.
And the guy can still play. That's one of these, hey, if the Texans are really going to make the next step this year, Kirk and Stroud are going to be a big part of it.
Yeah, it's a good signing. It protected them to have somebody along with Nico like you're talking about, and now they don't have to depend on the two Iowa State kids that they drafted in the second round and need them in there performing for them right away in day one. It adds a little flexibility to everything. We'll see what we got with him, and then they got some guys to usher in the future as well. So, the Texans, and you've said it a million times, Nick Caserio, the way he's done things, he's knocked it out of the park the last 3 or 4 years as a GM in the NFL.
One of the picks I considered was Jerry Jeudy plus a Browns quarterback. We just don't know which Browns quarterback. When we return,
problem there.
A little insight maybe from the Browns as to who the quarterback will be. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.